This is Mike Niehuser, founder of Beacon Rock Research for Mining Clips, and with me is Tom Irwin, Vice President of International Tower Hill Mines, that's ITH on the Toronto Stock Exchange, and THM here in the United States. Tom, thanks for joining me.
Mike, it's a real privilege to visit with you and visit about the Livengood Gold Project.
Well, Tom, we know that we've talked about this before, that teams and management are everything. Why don't you give me a little bit of an insight as to who there is working at Livengood with you?
Okay, and it certainly is a team. I would start with our Alaska General Manager, Carl Hahnemann. He has had significant experience in Alaska as a placer miner. He worked at Teck Red Dog, and he did my equivalent job when I was working at Fort Knox, and he helped design and permit the Pogo project. Chris Pupner is our chief geologist, helped find the ore body. Keith Malone, manager of Teck Services, worked at both Teck and Pogo, and Denise Herzog, BLM, actually helped me do permitting in the Fort Knox world and has worked at Donlin. Our area manager of engineering, who's really based out of Denver, Al Thabit, has done multiple projects, including on the startup and construction of the Fort Knox project. And myself, I was able to bring to the table, I was previously a manager of Climax Molybdenum and then the Amax Gold Sleeper Mine. Had a lot of cold weather experience also. Asked to transfer to do the Fort Knox project as Vice President of Fairbanks Gold Mining. And I was involved with the engineering, permitting, design, startup operations. And then I left Kinross because I became the Commissioner of the Department of Natural Resources, and I did that job for 3 governors. After I left that work, I couldn't stay away from mining, particularly after I was introduced to the ore body we have at Livengood.
Well, it really sounds like your management team, if it was a poker hand, it'd be all face cards. Why don't you give me a little bit of background on the history, because it sounds like you've got all Alaska people in a mining state.
You're right, Mike, and mining started in our area in 1914. Gold was first discovered there in the gravels. Over 500,000 ounces of placer gold were produced. It's very interesting in that time period that the old-timers actually located veins and dikes with gold on what they called Money Knob. Money Knob is central in the Livengood Gold Project. Starting in the 70s, there were multiple companies who did various boreholes. And then in 2006, ITH acquired the rights to the core of the Livengood project from Anglo Gold Ashanti. And we currently control almost 31,000 acres.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that, because it seems that you do have a world-class multi-million-ounce gold deposit there, and you mentioned the placer, and the location of this project is really excellent, from what I can tell, near Fairbanks, right near a highway, on the way to Prudhoe Bay. Give me a little bit more information about the location.
Sure, it is 70 miles northwest of Fairbanks, and access in Alaska is tough. And here we have a paved all-season, the Elliott Highway from Fairbanks to the oil fields. There are some other important things, though, with the history of mining development in that area. The state of Alaska has actually designated that as a mining district, and mining is the primary land use. It's also significant to us that Alaska State Mental Health Land Trust has numerous claims in the area which we have from them. And their task is for development, and they're a major beneficiary. We're 50 miles from grid power. That's along the Trans-Alaska Pipeline. And we have real community support, and they encourage mining in the area. I think something that's important, Mike, is besides the team, to me, the attractant then was the size of the gold deposit. With over 800 drill holes, and we've done the sample prep, the analyses, the security, data verification, and independent analyses. With our measured and indicated at a 0.55 grams per ton gold, we have 16.5 million ounces. In the inferred category, at a 0.50 grams per ton, we have 4.1 million ounces. So at 20 million ounces, it's a significantly sized ore body.
Well, I know just telling from your corporate presentation that there's still exploration upside there, but for here and the now, I know you're looking at a feasibility study being completed. Could you give me an update on the status of that and the importance?
Sure. Our feasibility study that we really started at the end of 2011, we've been saying that we'd have it done first half of 2013. We're on track for that. It really started with metallurgical optimization work. We sent over 11,000 pounds of samples. That's from over 3,000 samples. And we wanted to verify the flow sheet. We're originally looking at a crush, grind, gravity recovery, flotation, leach on flotation con. We found we could get a 9 to 12% increase, depending on the ore type. It's a complex ore, and there's 7 of them. That increase would be obtained with grind, gravity, whole ore CIL leach on the gravity tailing. So we established the flow sheet. We have some significant companies helping us, Samuel Engineering doing the actual shop, office, warehouse, admin, camp, facility work. We have AMEC doing the geotechnical work and the waste rock management facilities and the tailing management facilities. But we had SGS doing the met testing, and we had Roscoe Postal, and they did the actual metallurgical work. And we had support services from mine development for mine design, and a bunch of good people helping us. So we're continuing to move forward, and we're keeping our target.
Well, I was thinking you were going to say about costs, because I know that costs are a big part of feasibility studies to narrow those down with the flow sheet, and isn't that important?
Oh, Mike, it really is. When we're doing work with a feasibility study, our company have some real priorities. We have to design that property where we have worker safety, we have the environmental compliance. We've got that value to the investor.
I was going to say, Tom, that with you and the team being Alaska residents, that the environmental baseline studies would be particularly important to get it right the first time.
Mike, absolutely. We've got to do it right. And what we're doing on environmental baseline studies, and we know how to do it, we have the people to do it, and then when you have this baseline, you can design for it. And we're doing what you'd expect: rock characterization, geohydrology, surface and water hydrology, meteorological and air quality, wetlands, vegetation, aquatic studies, wildlife and habitat studies, cultural resources. And everything we have to date shows we design this properly, manage our environment properly, we will be able to get permits for this project.
Well, along those lines, I think it's really interesting with your and the team's experience there in Alaska, right in the neighborhood of Kinross's Fort Knox mine, as well as the other great mines in the area. You really are being set up for the greatest opportunity for success.
Mike, we've got two great neighbors. I'm proud of what Kinross has done with Fort Knox. I've been able to go back and tour Fort Knox several times, and they've continued to improve. They're setting the standard for the communities of what you can expect from a high-quality mine, and they're doing a great job. All the issues we had initially of can you transport reagents, can you transport materials, can you get the quality workforce, those have been answered. And then the Pogo mine, which is close by Sumitomo's mine, they're equally as high quality. They've come in and just said, yes, 2 major mines can be done in this area. So a good pattern has been established for us. And then since people know us so well, they fully understand that we're going to do the job that makes this worthwhile for the investors, the environment, the workers, etc. And above all, then, that we can permit it, we have effective reclamation, and close the project. We know gold's down right now. Some of us have been around long enough to know metals prices fluctuate, they're cyclical. Gold goes down, gold goes up. This project is linked to gold, and there is no doubt gold will price and value will go up, and that's very important for our project.
Well, consequently, this is a great entry point for the stock. Tom, thank you so much for taking time to speak with me. Again, this is Mike Niehuser with Tom Irwin, Vice President of International Tower Hill Mines. That's ITH on the Toronto Stock Exchange, or THM here in the U.S. Tom, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mike, and you have a great day.
Take care.